do that. All right, let's give folks a few minutes, Desi. So while I'm doing that, go ahead and get the pieces and parts out. Desi, what are you doing? No bark. Where did I put the package for this? Okay, we're going to give it about one more minute. Then we're going to go ahead and get started and do a quick rundown. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. Yes, Desi. What? What? No, you can't get up here. You can't get up there. I have everything I need. So, oh, wait a minute. Where's my... There we go. I need this. All right. This is Chantel with Creations with Heart for ABCs with ASC, our Tuesday night demonstration. Tonight I'm going to start working on a mini album with Mintay papers. They're the Mintay Chippies album base. And if you're in our group, the Facebook group, and if you're not, go look for ASC Crafting Group. I've posted a few pictures where I used my brother's Scan and Cut to cut the mats for this album. So I cut 12 of these, and I also cut, I had some complimentary paper that I printed off on my inkjet printer. So I cut 3 of these. So the third color in there somewhere. I cut, on my brother's Scan and Cut, 2 pieces of acetate and mirror cardstock to go behind the butterfly. I haven't quite decided totally what we're going to do, so I have lots of options here. And this is just white 80-pound cardstock. I had already made a small hinge using the hidden hinge system. And this is, let's see, 4 1/4. And it has 1/8-inch gussets. And the area that I'm hoping to stick the album to is a 1/2 inch. So my thinking is, let's start with the back. I will, on the back, adhere right there, a little shorter than the top, and stopping right at the curve of the bottom little notch. And then on the back, to cover that, I would take the mat and then on the front, I place another mat, leaving that as a free hinge. And then on the next one, this hinge here, place one, or actually I place this first, then put the mat back on, and then put the front on, and it will hopefully give free turning pages like an album that you can put together. So that is what we're going to attempt to do tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm hoping that I can come up with some way to make this not totally a shaker, but make it interactive by putting glitter or some small items that can fit in here so it'll shake around, and then place the piece of acetate on top to adhere it down. But that we won't get to tonight, and we won't even be able to check it, even if we got to it, how it will shake, because when you put acetate with glue, you must give extra amount of time to dry. So I'm being told it's because it's not a porous surface, the acetate, so the glue it takes a while. When you have a porous surface, the glue soaks into the item, and acetate is not porous. So here we go. I'm going to burnish this tape down really good. And it just dawned on me, I probably need to put tape on the back because I'm going to put a mat on the outside. So let's put some tape down. This is 3/4 inch score tape. And I did a bit of a comparison study budget-wise. And for those members in the Facebook group, she offers a 10% discount on regular purchases. Crystal does at ASC. So with that discount, it's cheaper to get your score tape from ASC and have it shipped to you than it is to get it on Amazon. I believe when I did the cost, of course, Amazon's prices fluctuate quite a bit, but when I did the cost, it's come out to be like $1.75 more expensive for Amazon. And with a $75 or more purchase, shipping is free. So I switched and started getting mine from her store once a month. And I just get it in my monthly design team package. And I'm going to put a bit of glue, because I just like glue. I'm not going into that 1/8 inch gusset there. And I'm going to place the first one down. And by placing that glue there first, it should allow me, if I have to pull it back up. And I'm going to go right to that score line, that 1/8 inch score line, without going over. Like the Price is Right. And there's glue there, but it will be okay. So then, for the next piece, I've already sooted or inked using black soot all of the edges. And so I'm going to place this in here, except I was thinking that there's got to be a way to make pockets on here. So my reason for cutting the white cardstock is I'm thinking that underneath this mint I can secure right down here a bit of a hinge, And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right below here. And I'm going to see whether or not I can. So I'm going to go line that up right on the score line, right here, the little bump. And let's see, I would need, this will work. I'm thinking this little area is 1.25 inches, so an inch should do good. Let's go, little inch strip. And I'm going to need it to go inside. So let's score it at 1/2 inch. And I would think that if I'm going under the mat, since I'm going to put something on top, I would want this to go on the other side. So I'm going to give it 1/8 of an inch in there. So the first score line was at 1/2 inch. Make the second score line at, we'll say, 6/8. Cut it 1/2 inch longer. So should be 1 1/8. Did I do 1/8? 1 1/4. A little extra is not going to hurt in this case. Okay, I want to burnish that little 1/8 inch gusset. It's a tiny little gusset. This album is not going to have to hold big amounts because it's a little thing. Let's see, it fits in there nicely. So let's put a little bit of glue right here. Adhere it. So 1/2 inch is here. There's an 1/8 inch gusset. And so I'll put a mat here, and then the pocket will go on top of there. So now this glue on the outside. Kind of thinking this through on how to make this into a usable album. I know one way is we could use those metal rings. So I may try that in option 2. Okay. The first one's down. Now, the second one, the pocket would go right there. But I might as well, let's see, we'll use this glue. And I cut 2 inches. So I like to do 1 3/4 plus a 1/16. I like that extra 1/16. Don't ask me why. It doesn't make sense, but I do. So that can't be right. Let me look at that again. Oh, I measured here to here. Should have measured the longest point. Longest point is 2 3/4. So it would be 2 1/2 plus a 1/16. So line this up with the 1/2 inch mark. And then give it a 16th. And let me grab my ink. I'm an ink baby. I have to set things. I don't like that white line. So might as well. Okay. Yeah, that is good. But this has to go down first, just under me, otherwise it won't hide that mechanism. So let's put glue right here, not into the gusset. Line that up good. Okay. Now we are going to need to put hinges there too, on each side. I didn't already put it underneath there, so it won't do me any good there. So I'm just going to have to glue it down. And then take next time and glue the little hinges on the two sides as well. Alright, now the top of the pocket. And I'm taking I'll place a border there. And so, yes, we can put a pocket in there. And we could, if I had placed a hinge there with an 1/8 inch, then it would put more in there. But you can easily put a tag or a photo in there. So now, let's flip it over. And let's see what's on the front. Let's do this one on the back. So we have to cover this side. And only need glue here. So just a little tip, when you've got areas that are sticky from your double-sided tape, put some cornstarch or baby powder on it. It will disappear, become almost like translucent, and it will totally take away sticky edges, sticky little places. And the best thing about that is, it prevents. If you don't take away sticky areas, then when folks go to place these on their bookshelves months from now, dust builds up wherever there's sticky. So by getting rid of that sticky spot, then that area is no longer a magnet for dust or dirt. So right here where this is sticky, I will put cornstarch there and get rid of it. But there's the first one, and I actually think it is going to work. So let's do a second one and see what we get. Now, here. A little bit of glue. And let's put down, let's line this up so that it's on top. Right here. Putting my finger there to make certain that that stays flush. Line that up on top. Put down the next one. Burnish it. And let's go ahead and give it a top. A mat. Why I'm calling it a top. Now, what I could have done, just dawned on me, these mats, I probably normally would have used the Cool Cats dies, photo curve dies, and I would have run them through my machine, my Vagabond 2, and it would have placed cuts. Called curved photo slots. So I place those on areas that I'm using a lot of paper, and what it does is it cuts. I can see with that there. 4 slots, and you also get a corresponding mat. It has a little stitched around. And what it does, here I have an example. Puts those slots there. So it allows you to be able to put as much fancy paper as you want, and you don't have to necessarily leave room or blank spots. And then the person can enjoy the paper, and then as they cut pictures to size, they can put them on the mats or just put the picture straight into the slots. And so it keeps it where the album is still looking nice until you get it full of photos. So it always has a finished appearance. And so I'm really enjoying the Cool Cats dies. So I could have put that there. Let's go ahead and put the mat on the back. I like this one. Oh, I gotta take tape off. And the main reason to put glue here is so that when I put this down, if I put it in the wrong spot, and if it was just tape, I could not pick that back up like that. As soon as you put it down, that tape's going to catch. But if you put a little bit of glue down there, it gives you time to move it around. But you don't have to wait until the glue is completely dry to move on to the next phase, because the tape will grab it and hold it there. So I did cut let's use this. I thought about putting one of these in there, and the person can stick photos in there. But I think I'd rather it only go to here. Otherwise, I have to send it sideways. Let me think on that. So, it does work. We have an album that does turn, and using a hinge, it's a very small hinge, almost the smallest. I haven't made one smaller. And so I would do this all the way through until I got to the front. And then on the front, this is not going to go like this, like I've been doing. This last one has to go on top. That's the reason why I went ahead and put the metallic on. Because this mat, when this one goes on top, another mat will come in and cover the hinge up. And then that will be the top. And whatever I put in there will be captured by the acetate. So that is my project. This is the Mintay Chippies album base, 27116. There are several different shapes. I know she has a heart, one that looks like a house. There's a large one that looks like window shutters. It's just one piece, but you can cut it in fourths. And you can paint this, emboss them, stain them. You can put alcohol inks on them. You can just do endless possibility with these, so you can do what you want. And so I'm really liking this. And you can just take and trace one of these and then cut it with scissors if you don't have a brother scan and cut. Or you can, I believe, scan it in SVG. Although I don't think Cricut you have to convert. I think you're able to pull JPEGs in. And you can also cut this, load it into your Cricut Maker. So if you have a Cricut, you can do it as well. All right, I'm going to sign off. And when I come back next time for the next live, which will not be me next Tuesday, it will be sometime in August, which will be next Tuesday, but that's still not me. I'm once a month usually. And we will finish this project. I will have it completely built. And we will work on the shaker aspect and decorating it. And putting in all the fancy bits, the part that we really all love. Thanks for joining me tonight. This is Chantel with Creations with Heart on the ASC design team. Be certain to check the link in the description to get to the store. Use Creations with Heart CWH10 for 10% off regular purchases. And shipping is free for $75 or more. It's a great Facebook group. Join us. And if you haven't hit the like. Thank you.